Badbird 1, this is Mother Hen. How do you copy? Colin Cellars thumbed the mic switch. Badbird 1, copy 5 by 5. Badbird 1, be advised that according to my radar, you are approaching the outer perimeter markers. Effect, an immediate... Oh, shit! Colin Cellars blinked, grinned, then thumbed the mic switch again. Badbird 1 to Mother Hen, please repeat that last transmission. Unable to copy. The answer came back immediately. Mother Hen to Badbirds 1 and 2, be advised I've got a board full of reds and a smoking starboard engine. I'm shutting it down and returning to base. Badbird 2 to Mother Hen, I've got your 6. Copy that, Badbird 2. Badbird 1, remain in the pattern to continue your sweeps. Badbird 1, copy. Cellars spoke into his helmet mic and smiled. For almost 20 minutes, Cellars continued to fly the established sweep patterns, allowing the sophisticated ground radar electronically to paint, then record the subtle variations in the surrounding foliage. Then, at the far northeastern end of his sweep, after checking his watch and verifying, visually and by radar, that there were no other aircraft in the area, Cellars abruptly broke out of the pattern, dropped down to about 50 feet above treetop level, and sent the powerful attack helicopter surging forward on a northeasterly heading. For almost 5 minutes, as the airspeed gauge steadied around 200 miles per hour and the powerful turbine engines roared, Cellars kept the smoothly vibrating airship steady on the 30-degree heading. At the end of the 5-minute run, he dropped back to a relatively slow 160 miles per hour, briefly shifted his attention to the chronometer at the lower right corner of the instrument panel, and smiled in anticipation. Any moment now. He paused to shift his shoulders against the snug web harness and adjust his grip on the joystick. Then, with a sudden, backward snapping motion of his head, he flipped the helmet-mounted night vision goggles out of the way. The bright green images instantly shifted to black and shades of gray. He blinked, quickly verified his three-dimensional position on the instrument panel, shifted the angle of the main rotor blades with a twist of his wrist, then brought the joystick around to the right in a smooth, deliberate motion. Cellars felt the surge of the powerful turbines and the pull of gravity in every cell in his body as the Apache helicopter, responding with mechanical perfection, came around in a tight, due easterly turn less than 30 feet above the treetops. It all happened in the span of a few seconds. As Cellars completed his turn, the panoramic view through the thick armored glass windshield remained a monochromatic expanse of grayish-black trees beneath a thin layer of black sky covered by dark gray clouds. Then, in a display of pure magic, the edge of a distant cloud began to glow a faint reddish orange. At that moment, Cellars sensed, rather than saw, the grayish-black blur as it streaked upward from a barely visible gap in the trees, right in front of his low-flying and rapidly accelerating helicopter, and then, in a seemingly desperate, indecisive, and aerodynamically impossible move, came to a sudden stop. The physical impact was just as stunning as the first moment of sunrise. Cellars felt the undercarriage of the Apache rip away, and then, for a brief moment, catch on something that seemed to crumble inward, before some kind of incredible momentum wrenched the heavily armored combat helicopter to the right and down like a child's toy. It was his often practiced ability to fly by instruments alone, and his trained faith in the accuracy of his horizon indicator that saved him in those first critical seconds as he fought to disengage and level the crippled airship. Or at least, that's what Cellars thought saved him, because the other possibility, that whatever it was he'd hit was struggling desperately to keep both of them from crashing into those lethal treetops, made no sense at all. But he didn't have time to think about that, because his instrument panel was now lit up like the reddish-orange clouds, and the emergency klaxons were ringing in his earphones, demanding that he do something, right now, because... Ringing. Colin Cellars wrenched himself upward, blinking in shock, until comprehension finally returned and he reached across the bed for the phone, only vaguely aware that his entire body was covered in sweat. "Yes. Hello?" he rasped. He was breathing so hard he could barely get the words out. "Sergeant Cellars?" "Yes." "Helicopter, what the hell?" "This is Trooper Lee, sir. Michael Lee, Region 9 CSI, 9 Ida 7. I'm sorry to wake you, but I've got something out here I thought you might want to take a look at. I know you're not on duty right now, but..." "On duty?"